and I said something like, I really miss proper rock stars, like my kinds of rock stars, the beautiful, androgynous, interesting, arty, druggy ones. And I think that this guy might be the one that I'm missing. And I put up a picture of you, and I got so much stick.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? Is it because you come from a showbiz background, or what's the prejudice? Is there a prejudice?
There'll be loads of things. I mean, it'll be part of your generation, because there's a tribalism to any generation. So anything that has, I think that there's a misinterpretation with me, is because anybody who's inside a big 1975 fan knows my whole I'm a rock star is twinned with, does he know that I know that he thinks he's a rock star? There's so many meta layers of that.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly cutting people off at the pass, like criticizing myself before you get the chance to do it.
Yeah.
It's there's a very postmodern element to everything. And I think because I come out and then I am camp and I am really cocky, but then I'm actually really fragile, and then I put makeup on, and then I'm mincing about, and then people are all think that it's I don't know. It can be, I don't know. I think that if you understand that I know what you're thinking, it's way easier to be into my records. Because I do get it. If you're like 40 years old or whatever, and you see somebody, and the first thing is, he thinks that he's like Jim Morrison. Then you're gonna be like, I get like that with bands, like, because it's regressive and it's retro and it's been done before and it's boring and it's recycled. But because of my knowledge of that, the rock and roll thing, the only time that I play with that is like on stage. When you say, I want a new Mick Jagger, I want, it would be nice to have something like that. The fact of the matter is that the vocabulary is so large now, we don't get those things anymore. That's why none of those things exist anymore, because to be a rock star is to be a pastiche. So you have to be something new. So if you're going to even play with that, you have to kind of be a modern version of it. And we need to embrace that, like, modern black artists are the new rock stars. Like that's where it's at. That's what's happening. That's also younger. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can just see it as trends. Like, why is there's no, that you could never get away with anything remotely misogynistic in rock and roll now. But you look at, like, your Motley Crues, and you look at the 80s, right? And even at times of the 60s, right?
Yeah.
It's because rock and roll's been around for so long. That's why, like, in hip hop, you've got all these, amazing black male artists like Drake and Kanye who are incredible, and one of their things is that they're so in touch with themselves, but their relationship with women hasn't caught up to that. Do you know what I mean? They're still like, I'm incredibly in touch with myself, but I still got bitch. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's because I think the art form is so young that, and anybody who was there when it happened, rock and roll, is going to want to be like, I want to be young again.
Yeah, and I would guess that you're closer to it without knowing you. My favorite pop stars, rock stars, idols are the ones that are still fans. No matter how famous they get, they're still a fan, and I bet you're that.
Oh man, I'm a fan. Like, do you mean of like other artists? And
well,
stuff like that?
Yeah, of anything, of everything.
And I find it so inspiring. Like, I'm not gonna name drop. Well, I am gonna name drop, but somebody who I can't say become a friend of mine, but somebody who I'm privileged to be in contact with now due to them being into my band was like Mick Jagger.
Oh, brilliant.
Like, so do you know what I mean? It's like, and the main thing about that, just to talk about that, is that I supported the Stones in like 2013, and we were in a dressing room next to them, and we could hear this rumbling next to us, and we listened through, and it was the Stones rehearsing. It's like Beast of Burden or something. I was like dying. And I thought, hold on a second though. Yeah, this is an amazing moment. We're listening to the Stones. They've been a band for 50 years, and they still rehearse because they care so much. Like, if we care that much at that age, that's something to aspire to. And then you meet him, and he wants to talk about records that you're like talking about your mates with at this time. It's like, if you're a fan from you, it's like, I'll always be that kid. I'll always be the kid at Leeds Festival who went with a tenner and no tent, like, I was there for it. There's so much that I know that I want to talk about, but I feel like if I'm going to be the artist that, especially when I did the Brits last year, and I get up half cut and say, don't stay in your lane, if the Daily Mail slags you off for being a pop star, you know, I didn't say that. I basically said, people say, don't, you know, stay in your lane. If you're a pop star, don't, please.
Yeah.
I said that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, good.
So I wasn't thinking, oh, I need to prove myself, but I was thinking, there's loads of things that I want to talk about, but there's things that I need to talk about. And when I had the music of Love It If You Made It, I was like, right, I can do it. I can just shout it, you know.